Hey!
Hey guys,
Hey everybody!
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Kristen. I'm white, obviously. If you're listening on a podcast, you can't see it, but I'm white. Tiffany
And I'm
is
black.
Woo! What? That's so weird.
I know.
Say.
It's kind of weird, but it's the truth and we're okay with it.
Yeah.
Right? So we have some goodies to talk about today and we're excited to just talk about differences between whites and blacks.
What's new? That's basically what we're talking about this season of the podcast. So,
Exactly.
woo!
This is exciting.
Bring it on.
Yes. So today's topic is going to be about hair.
We've talked a little bit about this stuff before, but I don't know how comfortable you are with. I don't know. This is a weird one for me.
Okay.
I am like out of. I don't know. It's all new. It's all new to me. So, I mean, obviously I have hair, but so. Is this your real hair right now?
This particular piece is not.
Okay.
My real hair, but so my hair is just braided underneath.
Okay. So how long is your hair?
So my hair is like probably like this length.
So you have hair. So none of this is your real hair.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. So let me just like say this.
See,
like
that's a little weird. Naturally, I think it's a little weird, but it's growing on me.
Yeah, it's growing because there's a whole billion-dollar industry of people that just wear weave, can do any style of hair, can make your hair in a bob, and then the next day super long, and the next day all the way short. And so I think that is also a really awesome thing with I don't know, black stylists and like black people, because our hair is so versatile. Like, I mean, I think I have two views on it, right? The one view is like, man, like all of the different things that we do with our hair. We braid it, we straighten it, we have natural hair, like so we got the afros, and then we do things like this, which we call in many cases protective styles. When you protect your hair, because our hair can dry out in the summertime or in wintertime, and different times, and it breaks off. And so
all year round it can dry out. Wintertime,
like
all of Indiana.
I know, right? So let me clarify that.
Okay.
Actually, it breaks off around the wintertime.
Okay.
But the summertime it sweats. So and your hair sweats. It's like if you get it straightened, it can sweat right back up. If you wear it out, it's probably like normal. It's fine. You can do that, but it can, you know, it's better to protect your hair, and because our hair is so like coily and it's curly and it like shrinks right back up, but like it's also like people think that, I mean, I usually see people like, you know, when they're combing a black girl's hair with no perm or no straightener, they're like this, but really you really have to be delicate with the hair. Because it is so curly, you have to like slowly like detangle it with care. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. And so yeah, so I do feel like that. And I do believe that the weaves and wigs and those things have their place. Like I believe that in a world of style and in a world of diversity and how you want to look one day. One day I'm in like a long hair mood, and some days I'm in a short hair mood, and sometimes I'm in my own hair, medium hair mood. Okay. Sometimes I'm in like a natural, like, yes, African American hair mood. And so I think it's important to not use weave as something that's hiding who you are, but more so expressing who you are. And I think that those are the two distinctions for me that, you know, I love that we can do that with our hair, but I just don't want us to hide also our natural hair that God gave us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, one of the things that like I'm thinking of as you're talking is like, I mean, you sort of touched on this right at the very end of like, essentially, is it okay for it to be like normal for Black women to essentially cover up their real hair and put on fake hair? But yeah, it's like you said, again, it's like a expression of style and things like that. It's kind of like makeup or fashion. Like, do you go natural? Do you Do you wear a lot of makeup? Like it's more of an artistic expression, but it could be also, and specifically in like makeup, it could be like you're trying to hide your face, and so there's something valuable about the natural.
Yeah.
But you can also do like the more artistic, as far as like makeup goes. So I think it very much applies to like hair that it's, well, I guess maybe like a wig is more convenient too, that it like saves time. If you like aren't sleeping on your hair and then you like to, so let me just put on my hair in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably pretty nice. But if I had harder to work with hair, I might try that.
It would work wonders. You would so love it. You're like, oh, what was I doing my whole life? What was I trying to comb my hair every day?
See, I know comb my hair every day. You should.
That's good if you don't have to.
No, I shouldn't. I should really do that. But right now, I'm a nanny, and half the time I don't see people other than, 1-year-olds in my family. So, so I don't have to comb my hair, but I really should. As soon as my company gets launched, I'll probably have to start, blow drying my hair or something. I'm like, what?
But it's cool that your hair doesn't go crazy if you don't comb it every day.
Yeah.
So with your hair, I can't even say like white people's hair because it's so different. And same thing with black people. You can get a totally different types of hair. You can get really coily, you got like loose curls, and you got like soft hair.
Okay.
So it's totally different type of hairs.
Okay.
You can't compare them all at all. So sure, like with white hair, it's like
yeah, I have like straight, kind of thin, flat hair, and I know that that's not every white person or every like blonde white person. It's like thicker or curlier is common too. So yeah, I can't really speak to like all white people's hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely feel a little bit spoiled that I have hair that's pretty easy to take care of. Like, I mean, we had a pool party the other day, and like I got in the pool and then just took my ponytail out, and then it just dried while we were talking, and it seemed fine to me. My hair actually like generally looks better after I get in a chlorinated pool and then it air dries. Like, I feel like sometimes it's like softer and looks better after it air dries after.
Must be nice. It must be nice. Let me just hit on the topic of pool.
Yes, pool.
So we went to a pool party, Kristen and I, and everybody was, not everybody was in the pool. Some people were in the pool.
Yeah.
And I had on my bathing suit / like clothes, They're like, oh, you're gonna get in the pool because you have on like your swimming clothes. I'm like, oh no. I don't get in pools like that. Like, not very often. And I was explaining to Kristen that black people, black women specifically, like, if you go to a pool party in a black field pool party, I mean, you have some people that jump in the pool, but you will see the women probably jumping in from the waist down.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, don't touch or wet my hair. Like, that is like, do not wet it, do not splash, that can cause a fight. Like, do not like wet my hair, and you don't really see, unless somebody's on a planned trip and you usually see their hair braided, or their weave, they may be able to do it, and they may have natural hair, don't care. But you will see more black people outside of the pool congregating around the pool than you will see white people that come to a pool party to actually jump in the pool. Black people come to get wet, maybe a little damp,
a little cooled off,
but not necessarily going all the time. And so that was I was like, I forgot, because I went there, I was like, I'm definitely probably not going to get in the pool. Like, maybe my feet.
Probably not.
I thought about it. I was like, I don't feel like getting wet. I don't really want my hair. Well, at that time, I kind of like put it up. So I was okay with that part.
Like a thing on, right?
Yeah, I had a thing on just in case. I mustered up the strength to do that. But yeah, a lot of black people, they're going to get waist down. It's not about swimming. It's about actually like just congregating, having a good time around it, maybe getting a little wet, showing off the baby suit.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But no swimming. generally.
Probably not a lot of swimming for a pool party.
Yeah, that's fascinating. See, okay, when I was younger, I have no idea if this was like black women or white women or whatever, but like when girls or women wouldn't go in the pool because they're like, I don't want to get my hair wet, I would be like, come on, like stop being so like high maintenance, or I don't know. I would be like, that's silly. Like, why would you care about your hair like that? But I don't think I realized like
the struggle is real.
I know. I just like didn't think about that because my hair is like does nothing, and
you can just wash out and it's okay.
My hair can air dry and it's fine. Like I don't care if it rains, and I don't need to have a hood on, and I don't need to like or have an umbrella, like if it's rainy. But I feel like that's the best reaction. Because I'm like, yeah, it'll dry, whatever. I mean, it might get like funny little frizzy guys up here, but like.
Oh wow, ooh, must be nice.
Yeah, a little bit of the laser eye.
I'm like, oh. But if I have my hair like in a natural state, sometimes I don't mind if it gets wet.
Okay, so what can you describe like natural state a little bit? Like what does that look like? What is that?
Good question.
Yeah.
Natural is like unpressed, unpermed. So pressed out, no flat irons to it, no perm, no chemicals. It's literally just water that touches your hair in its natural state. Now you can detangle it, but it looks like sometimes afro-ish. It looks like really, really curly, coily.
Okay.
And it's probably usually shorter because you can have
the curls shorten.
Yeah. So some people's hair is like this long, but it looks like it's that long because the shrinkage can be real.
That's crazy. That's a huge difference.
Yeah. And
so when you say your hair is this long, does it when it's like more natural? Is that when it's straightened?
That's when it's straightened. So
okay.
When it's natural, it's like.
So how short does it?
This.
Okay.
When it's coiled.
That's so crazy to me. That's so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
Oh my goodness.
So like that's a big difference, and I think one of the biggest things I didn't learn this till I was in college and on a trip. I was learning about hair that was different than mine, and so on the trip, I was like just all multicultural, mainly whites on the trip.
Yeah.
And
was
so
study abroad. Was that?
This was a mission trip I went on. This was when I was in Argentina.
Okay.
And so they were like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta wash my hair. It's just like so nasty." I'm like, just washed it yesterday. But they're like, oh, it's just so greasy. So I saw the grease that started to form on the hair, and I'm like, my hair did not need to be washed at all. Like, black people shouldn't wash their hair. I mean, like, some do, but very, very few. Like, you don't wash your hair every day as a black person. Maybe once a week. Maybe the more prescribed times that I've always heard was once every 2 weeks. Some people do it every once a week or whatnot, but so white people have to wash their hair often, very, very often. So what does your hair do?
Yeah, so I don't think all white, like I think men probably wash their hair all the time because they're sweaty, but
black men do too, I think.
White women, I think it varies. So if I don't wash my hair every other day, it is like no one should see that. No one should see that. It's so greasy on top, or even if it's not on top, it's like under here, it's like ridiculously greasy. So if I put my hair in a ponytail, it's like whoosh,
it goes straight back in.
It's gross. And sometimes that's every day. If I don't wash it every day, it looks like that. So if I don't wash it every day, I have to put dry shampoo in it. So it's like I actually made it, but you can buy like better stuff that's like a powder. That you kind of pat on, and it kind of soaks up some of the grease, so it like looks a little bit better without washing your hair. Because I think it still like dries my hair out if I wash it every day, so it's not the best for it. So I know some like I think my sister has like similar texture hair to me, and she doesn't wash it every day. But I think she does like dry shampoo, either like a spray or a powder. I think that's like to protect it, basically. But if I like work out, I definitely have to wash my hair because it's gotten sweaty and gross. And yeah, it like, I think I heard the same thing of like, I'm thinking back like when I was younger, hearing that some girls only wash their hair once a week. I'm like, ew, that's so gross. Like, how could you do that? Like,
Yeah.
so does it, but again, the struggle is more real than I ever realized. But like, does it get like sweaty or smelly? Like, or is it just like, do you have to put anything in it? Or is it just like, you just like put a shower cap on and...
Yeah, like my hair, it doesn't smell sweaty probably until the third week.
Third week?
Yeah.
So you've gone 3 weeks without showering?
Oh, yeah.
Without, I mean, not showering, but like washing your hair.
Yeah, probably like sew-ins or something. Like, yeah, for sure.
So is a sew-in a weave? Is that what?
Yeah, sew-in is like...
I've never heard that term before.
Really? Yeah, good. Like raw. So a sew-in is like women who braid their hair back, and it's a track of weave, and you take a needle, and it's like a curved little needle, and you sew the hair onto the braid.
Okay, so is that when the braid, like, it's more like little things up here, or is it like your hair, I don't know.
So like your hair is braided back or into a style, usually braided back, and you're sewing, you're just going underneath the braid with the thread.
Okay.
And going around the hair, going underneath the braid, around the hair, underneath the braid, and then it sews the track onto the braid. So then now you can style your hair with these tracks in your hair.
Huh. So so is that what all weaves are like? Like they're like sewed into a braid. So basically your hair's braided underneath, and then there's this other hair on top.
Yep. Or crocheted. You can crochet it into.
That's cool.
Yeah. Even better. Yeah. Crochet it or sew it.
Do you have to like pay to get this done?
Some people do it themselves.
Okay.
I pay to get it done. I don't have that time, patience, but with fans.
Because it would have to be a lot. Like if you wanted your hair to be like full, like look like hair, you would have to have a lot like.
Yeah, you have to have it's like a long track, and that will cover like a braid. And you would put the track onto the whole braid.
Only one braid, so you probably have
another track on another braid.
Little braids? Like, is this what?
No, it's like French braids all the way back.
Oh, okay.
So it's on the scalp already.
Oh, okay. So the French braid's like this, and then you're putting your track like this.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the little
each
braids, and then each braid gets like one strip.
Oh no, that's just too much work in life.
I know.
Too much work in life.
Who's people do that?
Yeah. So no,
okay. So
French
it's like
braid back,
braid on the side, and then
the track
on top.
Yeah,
going like this way.
Yeah. I'm telling you all the secrets right now. You're getting exclusives right now.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So yeah, like sew-ins.
So are there other types of like weaves or things like that? Like,
yeah, they have all kind of stuff now. People are like getting them surgeryed into their hair. It's really crazy.
What?
I don't recommend any of that stuff, but people use glue. They'll mold their hair down with like gel, and then they'll if they do it correctly, they'll put like a cap on it so it protects. The glue doesn't go directly on it.
Yeah. So yeah, I was having a conversation with my neighbor, and we were sitting like out in front of our houses, and her kids were running around, and we were just having conversation about life and her job and different things, and while we were having this conversation, she starts like kind of itching her head a little bit, and then ends up like pulling out like glue. I'm pretty sure they were glued in weaves, because they must have been, because she was pulling them out as we were like sitting there talking.
It sounded like crochets, but it could have been
maybe
because crochet you can just like pull and it'll come right out.
She was kind of like peeling it, almost like it looked like it. I don't know. It looked like something was like sticking it. Into like it was more like a whoosh.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think if we like hadn't had any conversations like this, I would have been so weirded out. But I was like, okay, this is like pretty, I guess this is normal.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I mean, she probably wouldn't have thought, like, she might feel uncomfortable with this because, like, why would she, that's so normal to her.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but, like, I think, like, 2 years ago, me would have been like, she's pulling out her hair in front of me. What? But, like, that's normal. So, like, I don't need to be, like, weirded out by that, even though that is something that I have not personally experienced or done. So, it didn't weird me out, but it was just like, oh, okay, this is a very clear difference of, like, one of those little things that, like, I cannot relate to that, you know, like, that can easily be, like, separating girls from being friends. Of like, because when a girl has, like, my hair and she's a stranger and she's, like, standing in front of a mirror, like, holy crap, my hair is, like, I don't know why. I had that same problem. I would, like, immediately relate to that person and we'd have, like, a small level of, like, trust.
Yeah.
Because we're like, oh, we're the same in some ways. And I feel like that's, like, a little, like, one of those small but big barriers between, like, becoming friends with, like, for me, becoming friends with a black woman. And that's, like, that should not be something that, like, separates friendships or anything like that, you know?
Yeah,
But
people are afraid of their differences. People are afraid of being different and they use their differences as reasons why they can't relate as opposed to reasons why they should explore.
Yeah, separate, like, from going to that stranger to acquaintance stage. I feel like once you've crossed that, then you can start, like, getting to know each other for real.
Yeah.
And then you, like, it's easier once you're an acquaintance to being a friend.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, like, it's easier just to start becoming friends with people who you can relate to on, like, surface level things, because those are like, oh, you've got, you know, straight hair, I've got straight hair, great, you know, let's be friends. Or like, but that is so not okay for that to be, like, all the time. I get it that it's not a bad thing to be, like,
To find things that you relate to.
I mean, we sort of talked about this, so, like, even though we're different colors, we're different colors. Look. Woo. Should compare my legs to your arms because these are, like, they will reflect the light. Anyway.
You're so funny.
What was I saying? Okay. I lost my train of thought here. But
even though we were just the same color.
Yeah, like, we have, like, the entrepreneurial spirit in common. I feel like in general, we have more in common than, like, what I have with some other, like, white women. Because we've, like, crossed those, like, weird barriers and talked about and gotten down to the, like, meat of who we are as people. And so, but it's so easy to let those little things like hair and, like, skin differences or things like that to, like, get in the way. And I think, like, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
It's not okay. And I feel like our relationship is far fuller because we've, like, gotten down to the nitty gritty. And, like, it doesn't matter if we don't have, like, some of the surface level things in common.
Yeah.
Because we have some of the core things of, like, who we are as, like, people. Entrepreneurs. And dreamers, like, lovers of Christ. Like, we have some of those big things in common. And so we can be, like, friends forever, basically. Right.
Because the core is kindred. The kindred spirit of your core. And we don't allow the little things of really what, I mean, to be honest, it can make us have conversations for days. Our differences, right? You know, like, we have more to discuss when we talk about our differences, because it's like learning. It's like, okay, let me teach you about my culture. Let me teach you about my culture and, like, what are, like, you know, even, like, something as small as, like, asking a black woman, is that your real hair? You probably shouldn't do that.
Okay, good to know. Even though I already asked you.
It's okay. We have that rapport. Unless they're your close friend, right?
Okay.
Unless they're your close friend, and you guys have that relationship, you can't just, like, walk up to a woman in the grocery store like, oh, your hair's cute. Is it real?
Yeah.
That will probably get you, like, the pass to the third aisle, like, or like a head bob and a side eye, like what, you know? So that it would definitely get you a side eye, like what did you just say to me? But for your friends, like, get you a side eye. So, but your friend, you can like, okay, tell me about the person you build a relationship with, where they know your heart, they know your intention, they know your motives are not vicious or not, like it's genuinely to know. And I think that in the past, many people have tried to cross over that boundary of like asking questions, but they don't do it with relationship that they should. And then I think that some Black people too have to kind of just be okay with embracing the questions. I mean, cause I had a lot of questions when I first went on my mission trip, and I was the only Black girl. And everybody was talking about their greasy hair, and they were like putting powder in their hair. I could not understand what was happening. And then it was like giving off a smell, and I was like, what in the world is going on? My hair's just like doing the same thing. I'm like, it smells the same. Like, everything's the same. I'm like, no grease? Nope, actually, I need to get some grease. Like, actually, we put oil in our hair. Like, because our hair just soaks it up and eats it up and dries. Like, it's completely opposite. Like, like
if
some...
I put oil in my hair, no one would want to see me for days.
So like, literally, like, I mean, and our hair can get oily too, but a lot of people, Black people, like put oil in the hair, or I grew up, my mom put grease in my hair, you know, like grease my parts so they wouldn't be dry anymore for dandruff and things of that nature. So like that was a different, like I didn't even know what lice was. I was like, what is lice? Like, because Black people don't really get lice. Like you can get it if somebody probably dropped lice in your hair. The lice probably wouldn't be able to live very long because of the grease that we put in our hair, because of how our hair operates. So like we don't have lice conversations in school too often. Like,
interesting.
Yeah, I still don't really, I just had a lesson on lice maybe like a few weeks ago. Like I was like, what? They can do what? Like, what? Yeah, and I saw lice in someone's hair before, and I was like, what is that living creature in your head? Like I was like, let's just get that one out. And they're like, no, there's many more. Like, I'm like, what is going on? So like, I didn't know that I didn't understand the concept of lice. But I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a cultural difference because lice don't typically live in Black people's hair. It just doesn't usually happen. We didn't hear a conversation. I was in a predominantly African American school.
It started itching. I'm like,
I'm the same way with bugs. Like, it's itch. When somebody brings up bugs, like itch. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things, like, I'm like, I just don't understand that. Like, I understand it now, but if I literally said, like, walked up to somebody, like, hey, have you ever had lice? You're like, you know, like, yeah, maybe at one point in life, but, like, you know, it's one of those things that you get to know someone. And then you just have this, like, hey, I genuinely want to know what makes you beautiful. Like, you're beautiful. I want to know what makes you this way. And your culture is part of it. Like, your hair is part of it. Your skin color is part of it. I didn't know that skin, like, Black people's skin and white people's skin do different things when they scar. Like, I didn't know that. Like, I found out in my biology class I was the only Black girl in high school. They were like, yeah, you know when your skin gets white and then it starts to peel, and then I was like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know what y'all talking about at all. Like, I'm like, my skin gets darker and then it peels.
So when you get a scar, it's darker than your skin?
Yeah, it gets darker.
I don't know if I have any scars, but yeah, usually scars, the scab is like darker, but when it actually scars, it's like totally white.
Interesting.
But on skin topic, so in college I had a friend, he was from Senegal, so he's like black, and
dark skin.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why. Whatever.
But that's the term, dark skin.
Okay. Very dark. And he used to go like this to me and call me like a zombie because my skin would like turn
white when
I touch it like that, or like red a little bit. And he was like, why do you get red? That's so weird.
Yeah.
He's like, you're a zombie. And this is, I mean, semi-diverse like college campus, but not a very high like African or African American population. We had more probably Africans than African Americans, and there were like 3 of them.
Wow.
I know, but more diverse on the like Asian and Hispanic side because it's Southern California. But anyway, yeah. So he would like go like this and think like, you are a zombie. But like, does your skin do anything when you do that? Like, push it and
It just goes down and comes back up.
so it doesn't change colors.
No.
Okay, see that. And no wonder he thought it was weird.
But you know what too? I just thought about that, and there's so many shades of black people though.
Okay.
So like,
Yeah.
I'm like of a darker shade, but then there's like brown, and there's like light, and there's like really light. So actually, really light skinned people may actually experience their skins peeling,
Okay.
and turning white as opposed to turning dark. And I think it depends on the color, like how much melanin you have. But yeah, so it's so diverse.
Yeah.
And it's so like multifaceted because
Yeah.
like you're talking about like so many types of skin colors with
Yeah.
black people. It's not just like one color. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to jump like sort of like we were talking about like relationships a little bit, like friendships specifically, but
Yeah.
I want to kind of jump back into like society a little bit and be
Mhm.
more look at kind of like general. So like one of the things that I recently have been thinking about and have discovered is that like there's something about, I guess it's like in the fashion world of like, so for example, the color nude. Like this like clicked in the last couple of months in my brain that like, oh, that is very strange. So I think the color nude is this. That's what I think. And so nude, obviously, like it, but yeah, if you look up that color, it is this. Like this is the color nude. So like, it just had never clicked that like, oh, that's not okay because not when everybody's nude, that's not what everybody looks like. That's not the color of everybody. And so, like when I buy like nude colored heels,
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And like there's something really messed up about that. Like, I mean, it's turned into like, okay, that's just a color, but like we shouldn't, I don't know. I just like, it like started making me angry because I'm like, you can't have nude heels and have it be like, I don't know, like
Lighter, like, yeah.
right, like it would be, I don't know, it's just like,
And see, my definition of nude is very confusing.
okay, so
Because if you say what's nude to me, I'm a little confused. I have to say, well, I mean, it depends on who's wearing it.
huh, okay.
So like the idea of nude to me is, you know, it's if I put on heels and I say I have nude heels, they're gonna be brown heels.
Okay,
You know, a darker tone brown heel,
yeah.
and that's gonna be my nude.
So I feel like you have a better understanding of that word than like most white people, because
Yeah, because
I would
you're
not-
kind of like confused.
yeah, if you had brown heels on, I wouldn't call them nude heels because my brain doesn't like, I don't know, my brain literally associates that when you're referring to it as a color, it literally only refers to basically this color. That's what I think of. And so you have a better understanding of that because you've had to deal with like, okay, that doesn't line up with me, so it's more of a like scale of nude.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and I think that's something that I would say Black people have to really come to terms with very early.
Yeah.
Because you don't have it's not, I don't think a really clear representation of what you look like. And what like nude is for you, what certain lipsticks will work on you, like even like different foundations, like just recently over the past 5 to 10 years were really being developed for Black women.
Yeah.
And so like foundations were too light, and like I mean it took forever when going to like groceries or Walgreens and literally finding my complexion. It was like it was like at least 5 skin colors lighter than me. Like it stopped there. And in some areas, you still can't find my complexion at all. And I mean, and I get that they serve the people that's in the area by the demographic, but that's what some people always see. That's their reality. That what society has is not catered to them.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that we really have to be intentional about making that known. Like this is. There's so many people and women and men, period, that make up this country, and that we have to do a better job of representing those people.
Yeah.
Because our country's made up of minorities. I mean, it's not even just white people being predominantly the predominant race here.
Yeah.
It's you divide that up. It's Germans.
Yeah.
It's British. Like everybody is a different culture.
Yeah.
Every single person. Like you got people from from it's Italy. You got people like it's totally everybody's literally from a different culture of people, and because we don't know how to separate them, we're like, okay, we'll put the Germans and the British and the Russians look similar, so we'll just put them together.
Yeah.
And the blacks and the Jamaicans and some of the Puerto Ricans look similar. We'll put them together. And but you can't mix culture like that. Like it's so beautiful and it's so awesome. Each part of it, like each culture, and we have to do a really good job as a country, and as in media, to represent the diverse culture that makes what people call this country amazing or great, by that. So
we need, I mean, as a culture or as like a country, basically, I think we need to do better of like representing everybody in things like that is important. So like, this is weird, but like bras or underwear, like sometimes I want it to match my skin, so if I'm wearing like a white shirt, you just can't tell anything. Or like, and so I would buy a nude bra, but that would be different for you than for me. And so like, and I've recently actually seen like 2 companies pop up in my mind of like specifically, one of them is like only like lingerie kind of things, that they have like a very maybe they only cut it into like kind of 5 or maybe 6 shades, but it goes from really light to really dark, of like nude, and they have like nude 1, nude 2, nude 3, nude, or like I don't know, it's like a scale.
I think that's awesome.
So I think this company is a couple years old, I'm sure, I don't know, but very new to like pretty new. And it's great that they're doing that they're like representing all shades of skin color in like what's considered nude. And I just think that we need more companies who are doing that and not just calling one color nude, because we don't all look like that when we're nude.
Right. Right. And I think that represents the woman. Like that represents, like if we're doing bras or if you're doing things that are like fashion, like shoes and things of that nature, like I mean, or that represents the man. That represents our country, the diversity of it. And I think we just have to be very intentional, and then make a fuss sometimes. Sometimes that squeaky wheel gets the oil. Like that's the one that gets the oil. That one that makes a lot of noise, and and for even kids that don't have, like for so long didn't have a black Barbie to play with. Like it was like. I didn't grow up. I don't think I had one black Barbie growing up, to be honest with you. I don't think I had. I think maybe we got one. I think my sister got one. But I had like probably a Mexican Barbie. Mexican, like, or tan. I'm like, they just light skin. But I'm like,
interesting.
It was like a baby. It was like baby born. I remember I had my first baby born and she was like light. She was like tan. So I was like, she's light skinned. She'll get darker as she gets older.
Oh my goodness.
I remember saying that, but I didn't have a baby that looks like me. and I didn't have baby dolls that looked like us, and so you immediately kind of grew up like you're conditioned as a child to believe that now you're supposed to look like this. You see the commercials and you see like the kids playing with the toys and like you're like, oh, I want that baby doll, like, oh, and they look at their hair, and then you had studies where the children will prefer the lighter dolls. Black students, the black kids would prefer lighter dolls sometimes over black dolls, or lighter skin, and like which one's prettier. And they did a study, and they had two dolls, and it was like which one's prettier, and they pointed to the lighter doll, and that's all conditioning.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure nobody's saying choose this doll or die. Like it's more so conditioning, like what you see in media, what you see as a representation of what you know is what you will look at for yourself and say, I am, do I match that person, or am I like that person, or am I like that doll? So it's so important that we be a squeaky wheel as people that want to be recognized and want fairness. Because kids are, I think that even the straight hair, the other side of even the straight hair was that some women are like, they hate their natural hair. Because we've been conditioned to see straight hair as what is acceptable and
beautiful
and you have students that are getting kicked out of school or suspended if they wear their natural hair, or if they wear braids, and they're not allowed to wear their natural hair. And so you're saying that what God has made, what is natural, what comes out of your skin is not good enough. And then you have a culture that tells you that. And I think that that's so important for us to be squeaky wheels, for us to make noise and say, hey, that is not okay. For us to discriminate and say, because your hair, you need to change the way you are to fit the mold of our culture to even be accepted.
And a lot of times, like, a company is not necessarily intentionally trying to say that. That like this like other group of people that we're not representing is not beautiful. That's not usually what they're trying to say. Sometimes I'm sure that's true, but in general they go, okay, well, if we show on our company's website, if we show skinny white blonde women wearing our clothes, we'll sell more. And that's generally that may or may not be intentional, but like they're not intentionally saying this is the only type of beauty, but because that's a trend, and because we live in a culture that is seriously impacted by slavery and that like the white supremacy that's real and that was real, and so we've been impacted by that like generationally, then if you're not intentional about being inclusive in that like skin color range, then you will be discriminative. You have to work at it hard to represent all populations, and not that you need to represent everybody, but like, come on, let's show range. But so many, like specifically I'm thinking of like clothing companies and like their models of who's wearing those clothes. Like it's far more rare to see black women as clothing models, and it's becoming more common, but there's still a lot of companies that don't represent like different shades of skin, but that might not be like them saying we don't want to represent black women. They're just seeing trends of what's selling more, or in their circles, these are the women, these are the models that they know of, or they're not being intentional about stepping outside of that, what they've already got. So they have to be intentional. So as we close, this is our challenge for you is if you see a company that's like not necessarily representing, whether it's like if you're a girl and it's like in a lingerie company or something, and they're not representing different skin shades in their clothing or in their models, a clothing store or anything of that like nature, if they're not representing different ethnicities, specifically if they're not representing minorities, because there's a reality in that the white majority, we can easily take over and not realize it. And so if they're not representing minority skin colors, then like we challenge you to just send them an email. Say, hey, this is something, and be kind and gracious and loving, because change can't happen with anger and shaking fists, because nobody's gonna want to accept what you have to say. That if you're angry, people are gonna put up defensive like modes. And so yeah, send an email, make a phone call, just say, hey, you know, something like, I noticed that you haven't represented, you don't have any black models on your website. Like, I would love to see a black model. Or, you know, say, I'm not gonna buy from your store because I don't see somebody like me represented in your model. So I don't know, something like that. We challenge you to
That's good.
reach out to companies and use your voice for good, because if a company isn't hearing that customers want to see that, they're never gonna be intentional, because it takes work.
And I'll just add that we can complain or we can do something about.
That's good.
So it's like either you're gonna complain or you're gonna create change. Complain or change.
Woo! I love it so much.
That's a hashtag. Complain or change.
Complain or change. I love it. Okay, and we'll see you guys next week.